QuickForms is very quickly. QuickForms is a form builder aimed at end users that are not technical. So you don't need any technical expertise to build these forms. It's basically a canvas where you can drag and drop components and configure them. So fields, text, responses, um, validations, those are all configurable by a user from the front end, essentially. So I said it was a quick intro, and so let me dive right into it. I'm in our sandbox using a demo user that should give me access to what I want to show. Your login obviously will be different based on your sandbox. And the list of forms, there's a lot happening here, but a couple of things to point out. These are the forms that are available in this instance. You may have different set of forms. But two things, form builder. This is where you start building your form. And there's an example. These are all different examples. You can click through them if you have access to them. But laptop loaner is one that we've designed specifically for this. It took us about 50 minutes, 50 minutes. Most of that time, honestly, was trying to find a real life example of a laptop loaner form in PDF version so we could get some ideas on what kind of fields to put up on this form, this quick form. Now, the PDF we found was actually pretty large, but we divided that into subsections through what we call tabs. So these are different tabs. Each tab, it's employee, so it's going to ask for some employee related information here. If you click on travel, we further broke this down into panels, what we call panels. So each panel is collapsible, expandable, and it could house different sets of fields in there. So let's go through this form a little bit. By the way, you're not limited to tabs. You could have a wizard-like interface. I'll try to show that at the end to you. But this is just one way of organizing the form in a way where the users are not overwhelmed with just the sheer magnitude of what they have to fill out. So in this structure, they would click on employee and start filling out information. So I'm logged in as a user called bioprofessor, so I just typed in bio. This field, this knows, this is a smart field. It knows to go get potential matches. So I entered bio, it's pulling in names that match that in our demo data set. So these could be Jane Doe, Joan Doe, but in our system, it's biochemistry researcher. Employee ID, you can enter anything here. There's a asterisk here. So this field is required. And behind the scenes, this is done just by clicking a checkbox that says required. So it's very easy to make fields required. To add that validation, this is a dropdown. If you click on it, it pulls the different departments in our sample data set here. And you have your email, phone numbers. These have their own validations that you can choose. There's an email validation, for example. So you can apply those validations through just a click again. Another cool thing that I want to show you is, let's say you're filling out this form. You filled out employee or you jump to travel directly. And the question is, what is the purpose of your travel? Research collaboration. Okay, thank you. But if you had selected conference, I want to know what conference you're going to, basically. But I'm not going to show this field to you if you're not going to a conference. We feel like this kind of branching approach to forms is less overwhelming on the person that's filling out the form, and they're more likely to fill the form more accurately and not get overwhelmed by the whole thing, basically. So this conditional approach seems to be working really well for people, especially with complex forms. Same idea applies here. Have you filed an authorization travel? If you did, then give me the number. I'm not going to ask you this ahead of the time if you have not done this. And these are very easy to configure. I'll show you the canvas that I was talking about. Very easy to add this conditional. You can also have rich text. You can see the bolded out areas. You can have, you saw the checkboxes. You can have radio buttons. You could have dates. You could have attachments. You can choose a file here. You can also move back and forth between the different tabs here by previous, next. So there's a, the navigation is really easy. I do want to show you how this form looks in the Canvas version. So I'm going to click on Edit Form, and you can do this yourself too. Basically, every piece on the form is a component, and if you click on it, this right side will show you the settings. Some components have very little settings that you can configure. Like this is a simple text, so you can make a change here. Please choose name below. And so you can modify that text as easy as that. If you want to add pieces, components, you just drag and drop things. So the best way to show that is to add a new tab here. And again, the way to add a new tab is very simple. You just click on this once. Now we added a tab. Now, like every piece on here, these pieces are configurable as well. So I clicked on it, and in the component settings, got the last tab. You get a canvas for that tab basically. So let's add a basic instruction in a comment field, for example. So I would do plain text. This is what we use to inject text into the forms basically. I dragged and dropped it, but I need to click on it for that component settings for that component to show up. So I'll say add additional comments below. And I'll make sure to spell that right. And now we added the label for it, but we do need to add a comment field below. If you skim through this list here, there's a lot of pieces that you can add, and we saw most of these in the different tabs. But for a text field, we got a couple of options: input text, which is a single line of text generally. But if you do a text area, these are perfect for comments, and because they can house much larger text with multiple lines. So let's click on it. Let's change the label to be comments. And you can add tooltips here. You can do validations. We have a basic set of validations that you can pick from here, most common ones. Let's say you do a radio group. I'll drag and drop that down here. These are the radio buttons. Let's say, what do you want it to show? You can manually add them, or you can use one of our presets. So yes, no, yes, no. So this 3 option gives me this. You can modify these further. Instead of NA, you could say not applicable. And that will change the label. If you want to add more options, you can just switch back to manual and add another option here and say, I don't know, tests and test. So that's easy as that. The conditionals are very easy to do as well. You basically have the conditions here. You pick the field that you rely on. So for example, if I modify this comment box to be shown conditionally based on, let's move this up because it doesn't make sense what I'm saying. So if they selected yes, then it should show the comments. Then it's as easy as saying, hey, go to your conditions, select the name of this group, radio group, which is a unique name here. So you would pick this from the dropdown and say, if that equals yes, then show. So it's basically all done from the UI. And we added tabs. Travel had panels in it, so it's very easy to add panels as well. So you just click on this and you have a new panel, but they don't have titles. So let's add a title, panel 1 and panel 2. So you can keep doing the same thing here, add more fields basically. So very easy, fun to use. I wanted to show you, I think we have quick couple minutes. I'm going to go to Form Builder. So we showed you the tabs, but you could also do wizard-like forms. So you just keep on adding. I clicked on it 3 times, so it added 3 steps. So you could click on the step, just like any component. You can come in here and say core information or basic information, let's say. Basic information. Let's go to the second set. Oops, I didn't save it. Basic information. And Step 2 will be supporting documents. Let's say supporting documents need some file upload. So you would just drag and drop that into the container here. And basically just move through the thing this way. We didn't add much in it, but this is how it looks like in the preview version. So you can definitely use all of these components in the wizard as well. And that's it. Hopefully you have fun experimenting, playing around with it, but these are the basic ideas behind it. Thank you, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.